Welcome to Teachings from the Masters with Daryl Shaun Price.
Hi, welcome. So glad you're here today. So I want to talk to you about shifting your identity. Now, I've talked about this before in this podcast, and you probably heard from many other people who teach about manifestation, who teach about living in alignment, about creating your own reality. To create the reality outside of you, it's required for you to shift your internal identity, not shift the outside world. Otherwise, you're always fighting to keep pieces that only fit within the outside world you've already created. So what do we mean when we talk about shifting your identity? It means that no matter what happens outside of you, you respond as somebody of that new identity that you're choosing to be. I'm going to give you some examples from my life, and then we're going to talk about how to do this for you. So those of you that have followed my podcast for a while are probably very familiar with the miracles that have been happening in my life, especially recently. Some massive financial miracles where everything's falling into place, and I've been able to have a freedom that I've only dreamed of as the old me, but it just feels normal now. Well, there's a couple things that happened recently that reminded me that, hey, my identity really has shifted. So I've been talking to a gentleman up here in Maine about purchasing a business he owns. And he is very much trying to convince me that even though it's $179,000, it's worth it. And look, here's all the reasons why it's worth it. And that might seem like a lot of money. But the first time I heard the price tag of $179,000, I didn't go, oh, well, I can't afford that. And oh, where am I going to find the money? I don't have $179,000. My first thought was this. Oh, that's it? You're only asking $179,000 for this business that looks pretty darn amazing to me? Oh, okay. Now let me be very clear. I do not have physically $179,000 sitting in my pocket or even in my bank account that I can just hand over to him. But despite what the external circumstances were, my internal identity said, oh, that's it? That's not that much. There's a sign that I shifted. Remember, we've talked in the past on this podcast about your inner dialogue. My immediate inner dialogue was, $179,000 is not that big a deal. Now I know some of you, when I said $179,000, probably went, oh, I could never afford something like that. Oh, that is a lot. It would take me forever to save that. Internal identity, internal identity, internal identity. Your inner dialogue is automatically responding to external circumstances based on the beliefs that you have. So, this is how you know if you've really shifted identities. Your internal dialogue is naturally something different. And it didn't stop there. I've had so many beautiful omens that tells me, hey, my internal dialogue has shifted. So in the past, every time a bill was coming up, I would get a little bit worried. Okay, I'm going to make some really smart decisions. I'm not going to spend anything until I get this bill paid to make sure we have enough. I got to go budget this. I'm going to make sure we can't do that. We've had bills come up since we've been here in Maine that didn't match what was in the bank account. And my internal dialogue didn't panic, didn't start limiting me. In fact, the moment I saw, hey, there's this bill and your bank account doesn't quite match to meet it and it's coming up soon, my immediate response internally was, oh, we're going to get something in pretty quickly to take care of that, aren't we? That's awesome. No matter what it is that's due, something's about to hit that's going to take care of that and more and get us to the next level. And it wasn't some wishful thinking. It wasn't some affirmation that I'm trying to convince myself. That was the natural response I had to that situation. Another one that came up recently, I was looking at an article about theme parks and all the theme parks that have been closing and how they're struggling and whatnot. And there was a theme park I was reading about where the owner had gone $6 million into debt to try to save it. And when that $6 million price tag came up, my internal dialogue said, oh, well, it's just a $6 million debt. He could take care of that. You see what I'm saying here? It's not that the outside world shifted to prove to me that my identity is real. My identity shifted. Now the outside world is changing to match. And that's where opportunities are coming, like this business that I've been talking about. Sure, maybe I don't have the immediate cash flow, but I don't need it. It felt easy. It felt right. It's going to fall into place. I already know it's going to happen. And I didn't worry about it. He said the $179,000 price tag. And I didn't go, oh man, I wish I could, but gosh darn it, I just don't have enough. No, I go, oh, that's it. That's not that big a deal. Talked to some people, started opening up my mind and just following the peace. Happened to talk to two different people who look like they're willing to fund the deal for us. And basically, here's your business. Yeah, we're going to have to pay them a little bit, but I would rather work with partners anyway. And they're people I love, and I get to benefit them now. So I get to benefit others. I get to have the business I want. It's all falling into place. Not because I worked and pushed and tried to figure out how to have the money, because I shifted my identity first. You know, in Taoist philosophy, there's a saying, if you want to be rich, you must be poor. If you want to become powerful, you must be weak. If you want to become beautiful, you must be ugly. Whatever you're experiencing right now is not necessarily what you want. But because you're experiencing it, means you automatically have the ability to experience the opposite. I have struggled in my life, in the past version of me, with money, with having enough, with scarcity mentality, with thinking, well, we can't really afford this business because we got too many bills to pay and we've got this coming up, and the panic there and the, oh man, I wish I could, but it's just too expensive. And I didn't run out there and push and push and push and push and push and try to get more money to have all these things fall into place. I shifted my mindset first. So what does that look like for you? First, I want you to take a moment and think about, what is it you really want? Maybe it is financial freedom. Maybe it's beautiful, wonderful relationship. Maybe it is a healthier, happier life in general. Maybe it's the ability to travel. Maybe you want new opportunities that you've always dreamed of. Whatever it is, imagine it right now. Imagine it the most you can. Now, don't stress about the things you haven't figured out yet. Just imagine what you can until you feel that it is real. Once you know what that feels like, that's your compass. That's it. That feeling is what matters even more than the details. This business I'm about to buy, which I'm not going to share too many details on yet because it's not a done deal, but this business I'm about to buy is not the business I ever imagined starting when I imagined the feeling of financial freedom. But it's one that me and my team can operate very well. We already know how to do. We've got all the skills and expertise to do it. And it's already successful. And because of circumstances from the person who's selling, is kind of being handed to us. Feeling's still there. Sure, maybe it's not the way I thought it would come, but it doesn't matter. Hang on to that feeling of whatever you just imagined. That's number one. You can get into that feeling? Perfect. Now, let it go. But, no, let it go completely. You let it go and just get yourself at peace. By imagining until you felt you've already created, that reality is done. It is created. You don't have to manifest. You don't have to go out and chase. You don't have to visualize. You don't have to go through all these different techniques. In fact, I'll tell you what I do. Every morning, I get into alignment first. And what I mean by get into alignment is I get into a state where I have zero focus on the external, no matter what is happening. And I am focused on calming my body. Once my body is calm, I pay attention to how I'm feeling. Once that feeling has passed, I focus on breathing deeply and feeling peace, love, joy, gratitude, and bliss flow through every center in my body. And once my body is completely filled with peace, love, joy, gratitude, and bliss, I just sit in that. Once that has filled me completely, once that is who I am at this moment, no matter what's happening, then I allow myself to imagine, and I'll go right back to, oh, there's that feeling of financial freedom. Beautiful. Let me use that feeling to create. I'm going to completely get in tune with that feeling from a state of I'm already at peace. Now, I'm not focused on what specifically is going to manifest. No, I'm focused on the feeling of having that financial freedom. Then I start my day. I let it go again. Then I start my day. So what do I do with my each day to make sure I get that? Nothing. I've already created it. It's already mine. Well, yeah, but you still have these bills. No, I don't do anything. If a bill comes up, I pay it. If I can't pay it, I put it aside till I can pay it. If an opportunity arises and I don't have the physical money in front of me to do it, if it feels good, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. Well, you can't just go get a deal without money. It's the internal mindset. And I want to give you a little bit more background on this deal that I'm working on right now. So it was by myself. I went to a business just as a patron. Walked in, they had a sign on the door that said, "We are closing and the business is for sale." I talked to the owner a little bit while I was there, got some of the background story. It felt like peace, so I sent an email. Now, the email got me in touch with the other owner. Through conversations with the other owner, he got super excited and said, "Oh, wow, you guys would be perfect for this. If I have to, I'll lower the price. I will work with you, whatever we need to do. Let me give you a tour. Here's all the stuff that comes with it. This business would be perfect for you. You guys could do so well with this. I'm so excited." Because we were worried we were just going to turn it over to someone who's going to close it down and not do anything. Okay. He never once asked, do I have the money to afford it? He never once asked, do I already have financing? He never once asked about my capital or anything else. He's done. He's ready. He's sold on us. Now it's just working out the details. So what did I do then? I didn't rush in and say, "Oh, this must be it. I got to do it." I'm like, nope, follow the peace. Peace was to talk to him. Peace was to continue the conversation. Peace was to ask some other people about this deal and see if they wanted to be involved. And little by little, it's falling into place. And at the end of it all, if we end up not buying the business, it doesn't matter. If we end up buying the business, it doesn't matter. If it succeeds, it doesn't matter. If it fails, it doesn't matter. Because do you realize what happened? I got to step into a situation where somebody could say, "Hey, I'll sell you this for a number that old you would go, oh my God, I could never afford that. That's ridiculous." And all you did was say yes and allow the universe to bring you every opportunity to make it happen. Because you create what you are, not what you want. Now, I know what's happening in your life, and I get it. I've been there. You've got these desires. You can even meditate and visualize and get in tune with them at those moments. And then the real world hits and you're like, "Oh gosh, but I don't want this. I want that. I don't want this. I want that." Stop paying attention to what you don't want, period. Just pay attention to what you want. How do you do that? You stay in alignment. I'm completely at peace no matter what happens right now. I could record this podcast and it never gets out to anybody. It doesn't matter. I'm at peace recording it. I hope it does, but that's okay. It's not about the result. It's about the state I am in right now. You stay in alignment. The universe will automatically start to reflect what you've already created. The problem is we don't stay in alignment when the distractions happen. Oh, what if this person doesn't like me? Oh, what if I can't find the money? Oh, what if I can't pay the bill? And that's where most of our internal dialogue is on responding to external. Stop giving your attention to the external. Your attention, your one true superpower. Focus it on being in alignment and being at peace, and let the pieces fall into place. Let them fall into place. And your inner dialogue will be the reminder of where you are in that shift. So let's say you do notice your inner dialogue go, "Oh man, I wish I could have that, but I can't because that. Go, "Oh, wait a minute. We haven't made that shift yet. I get it. Okay, that's old programming." So what do? You don't respond to it. Get back in alignment. Focus back on you. Focus on you being so in tune that it's already done. Focus on being so in tune that it is already done. You know, it is amazing what has been happening in my life more and more as I live by this principle. I am not doing anything. I followed the peace, went to this business as a patron. I may now buy it. I followed the peace the other day, went to another spot, met somebody who's become a huge friend and contact for me that didn't plan on doing that, wasn't out searching to make friends. It just happened. Just went to dinner tonight, me and my tribe. Met this amazing waitress who has such a beautiful energy, who has rescue dogs. We are a rescue dog family. Who is a wonderful connection. We're now talking and chatting and about to meet up. The likelihood of these things happening, logically, is zero. But they happen all the time because you manifest miracles the moment you choose to live in alignment, not in response or reaction to the outside world. So let's look at you. Here's what I want you to do. We're going to try a little experiment. I want you to get 3 stones, crystals, coins, it doesn't really matter, but 3 things you can put into your left pocket tomorrow. Now, you're going to set an intention after you meditate, after you visualize, after you get in tune with the feeling of who you want to be, who has the things you want to have. And all you're going to do, put those 3 things in your pocket, the stones, the coins, the crystals, whatever you want. It's 3 little things. And your goal is to notice, just be aware of anything that feels, anything that happens that feels like that version you've imagined. And when it does, say it out loud and take that coin or that rock, move it from left pocket to right pocket. What you're doing is you're training your awareness to focus on whether or not something you experience is in alignment with who you're choosing to be or not. And there will be some other things that just feel like peace and it's fine, but there'll be those moments of, oh my gosh, kind of like I was talking about. Hey, he said $179,000. My immediate response was, oh, that's it? Oh, let me move that rock over. That's an identity shift. That felt good. That felt like the very rich, abundant, financially free me that I had always imagined. Oh, he went $6 million into debt. Oh, really? That's it? You could work that off. You could easily pay off that $6 million debt. Boom, we're moving one pocket to the next. But do you see what I'm saying there? It's your awareness of everything in comparison to your alignment that matters. You're not fixing it, you're aware of it. Oh, this happened and it doesn't feel in alignment. Well, let it go, get back in alignment. But if you do that for a few days, the coins, the rocks, the crystals, whatever you choose to put in your pocket, you do that for a few days, you will notice a difference because you're training your mind to stop reacting to the external situations that are the beliefs you have now and start responding to the internal alignment. You know, I've said it a million times and I'll say it again. There is nothing greater than the power of you. When you are living in alignment, you will naturally create your happiest life and you will manifest miracles. So for you to shift your identity, you have to stop giving all your attention to everything that feeds the old identity. It's all here. And yes, those subconscious beliefs will come back up and come to the surface, and it's okay, let them do it. You're not paying attention to them. You're aware of them, but you're not giving them attention and energy, and they don't have to be fixed, and you don't have to do anything about them. You're aware of them. But your focus is, number 1, am I at peace right now? And if not, I stop. I do nothing unless it is following the peace. If I'm not at peace, whatever I'm doing should not be done. Walk away. Get yourself into a place of peace no matter what is happening. Then imagine. Once you're in a place of peace and alignment and you imagine, whatever that imagination brings up as a feeling, start to be aware of that feeling. Whenever it pops up in life, there's your omens. There's your realizations. And I will say, even though this is simple, it's not easy. You've probably got a lot of programming where you're habitually responding to every external stimulus, good or bad, and giving your energy to that. And that's okay, we all have. But that's what this life is about. Learning to believe in yourself internally so much that the external doesn't matter. So you would be that person that no matter what happens, like, oh, I'm not worried about that. Things are going to work out just fine. Yeah, but the tragedy just happened. I'm not worried about that. Things will work out just fine. I already know who I am. I already know what I get. I already know what is being created. So whatever happens out there doesn't change that. Then you get to be the person that no matter what pops up, go, oh, that's not a big deal. Because you know who you are. You know, there's a song I wrote many years ago. One of the lines in that song is, freedom is knowing who you are and who you really want to be. And that's true. I am aware this is who I am and what I'm experiencing. And this is who I want to be. And I know what that experience feels like. And once you accept that completely, not only is it freedom, but it is true power because you are the creator. You are the creator. So get into alignment. Get into the feeling of that desired outcome, whatever it is, and pay attention to that and only that. And I promise you those miracles happen. And they don't happen because you're out chasing them. They don't happen in conflict of what you're experiencing. They happen because you are that. Anything out here that doesn't confirm it is fine, I'm aware of it and let it go. Because there is truly nothing greater than the power of you. I'll see you next time.